I met a girl who holds me like she's fighting for me in her sleep. If you ever decide to age low, invite me. I will retire my bones to make you tea and to read you poetry. I know she's having a bad dream when she grinds her teeth. She always finds my body in her sleep. For the nights I cannot give you my mind, may you take my muscle memory. Love me like you are not waiting on my apology. Like God tattooed peace signs on both our wrists, dropped you off across the world and told you to come find me. And you found me somewhere reading poetry. For the nights I cannot pick myself off the floor, we'll build a fort. My body was made for you to sleep inside of me. You make me want to straighten up things around here. You touch me like you met my body in a past life. Can I love you past life? And to the parts of eternity that stay night, but it doesn't matter because you are already wrapped in everything that you loved and lived for. You make me feel like I can't die and like this is eternal life at the same time, like I'm down to take a chance on you. Like I fuck with you, like I would fuck a nigga up for you. Like my weed is your weed, like I will always hide. Like I want you to come find me. So find me. I stared at a picture of Dorothy Dandridge and Harry Belafonte. Wondered if we still fight the same, or bite the same. If they ever made more love than sense. If they ever stared at our generation and just wondered where all the fireflies went. Did they all die, or did they just not find us worth the light? Did they not find us worthy enough of them dressing to the nines in their shine, just waiting to become falling stars between the hands of a blushing girl in front of another, just waiting to give up her audacity and her world? I promise you that if I died tonight in these sheets, I would still want you next to me. Like this love survived all of those riots. I know when you were scared, I held your hand when the hurricane came. Pass me my lighter. I'm sorry I made you cry. I don't give a fuck if you cry. I will always wipe your tears when you cry, like I know. I know you did not give me permission to, but I already started asking God about you. I told him if he doesn't mind, I'd like to make it to heaven before you do. To run you a bathwater and to make you a plate, to turn your TV to your favorite channels and then turn it off and make you believe that you left it that way. And I vow to never to open the door for a scent other than yours. And I promise to always remember your scent. And that we will laugh at everything that hurt when we were humans. Like when we were poor. When we slept on a barren floor on Leicester Street, when we only had water and grilled cheese, the moment you said, baby, I may not have any money, but I got a soft spot and a melody and a pair of arms that would rock you to sleep. Wow. So what? You thinking about taking a chance on me? When I met you, I still had bruises from my last relationship. That's not a metaphor. Wow. I wore long sleeves and you held me like I was something you were going to put all of your apologies into. I knew we weren't right for each other, but we were both desperate for something at the same time. So we happened. We didn't happen well, but we happened. I still wonder if your tingles worry about your face. If you get hot in the middle of the night. If you've traded in my memory for the weighted blanket of another woman who has an apologetic body like the one I had, who's flattered by the way you roll your R's in your God into places they never belong, flouted by the way you play pretend. How many Bible verses did you bend to fit that woman's body where mine had been? My mother still asks about you. And I don't wish to tell her that I lost yet another pair of earrings, that I left your smell on my sheets until they grade something funky, that I forced my body to sleep in a bed with a lying ass woman and never apologized to myself for the restlessness. When you cheated on me, I still fried you fish, made you eggs and cheese grits, still loved you enough to send you off on a full stomach. I learned that sometimes your lovers will turn coward before your eyes, and you must decide if you want to stay around long enough to call them one, if you want to watch the pee roll down a grown woman's legs. How come you let the things you love grow sour? How come you couldn't be more of a Christian than a coward? How come you hide me like I'm ugly? How come you treat me like you don't love me? I know you lied to me because you don't want me to know you this way, but love, we are this way. And who am I not to give you enough grace to let you go? Why hold you hostage to an apology that won't get better over time? I'd rather love you alone than love you a liar. You held a part of my sleep pattern that reminded me that morning was coming. But now night is just night, love. And I've discovered that alone is way better than lying to me. You cheated on me, and I still fucked you like I was grateful. Fucked you like I was trying to undo the memory of the woman who found her way into my bitch and my back door, into places that she could only reach if you let her. So love, where did you let her? And how many times did you let her? And I still wanna earn myself up a good memory in your bones. You know, sometimes I want to say that I'll come back to you, but I've learned not to make promises. I learned that I don't own enough of forever to give it to nobody. Sometimes I wonder if the woman who broke my heart ate dinner. I wonder if she's full, if she's eaten well, if she remembered to take the clothes out of the washing machine, to put them in the dryer, or if she'll have to repeat the cycle all over again. You know, I don't talk during my sets much either because it's important for me to. I don't talk to my sets that much either, but I wanted to say something particularly about this piece called Cycles. That I wrote this piece 5 years ago when someone broke my heart into pieces, right? Like it took 4 years to heal from that breakup. And I lost 40 pounds, and it was one of the hardest times of my life. And you know, on Halloween, the woman that my ex cheated on me with, she followed me on Instagram. And I was like, why are you following me? And she was like, I'm just a big fan of the word. Well, hold on. I keep there. You were talking in that gallery? She was like, I'm just a fan. And I was like, no, you're not just a fan. You participated in my trauma, whether you were a willing participant or not. And it made me think about how we might be participants in the traumas of other people and may not even know it. And that this woman wasn't, and I'm talking to the poets in the room, that this woman isn't just a fan of me, right? That she was looking for language for her heartbreak from a woman who experienced the same heartbreak as her. And no, not plagiarism, but that when the time was ready, when the time was right, the universe was kind enough to render me the truth. And when I stood before that woman, I wasn't a heartbroken girl like I was any time prior she would have found me. But I got to stand as a poet. And it's weird, right? To help somebody who participated in their own heartbreak with language for their heartbreak. But I think that too might be the work of the poet. To tell that Black girl that her heart will heal too. But it took 5 years to get there, and any time sooner would have been way too soon. Look at you. So ready to betray yourself. You don't even know who you are, and look at all you are willing to give up. And you know, I wrote this piece because we make love the best thing. And sometimes we become so infatuated with love that we forget all we are outside of this romantic concept of love. And I used to tell myself, like, I don't want to publish any more books. I don't want to like win any awards until I have my person to celebrate it with. Because I would publish a book and like I would take myself to dinner and like buy myself like something nice. But I was like, it doesn't feel as good because there's nobody with me here to celebrate me in. And so I didn't want to honor all of who I was becoming because I didn't have an intimate witness. And like the universe is saying, like life is going to go on, no matter if you are in an intimate love or not. And I think about in that rush, right, to feel this sort of this specific love, in that rush to feel love, how much will we betray ourselves? Because before I was ever cheated on, before I was betrayed, once you get past someone else's betrayal, you have to count how many times you betrayed yourself. And for partners, right, they might get 1 to 5 times. Like you might, I know it's a lot. You might let somebody fuck with you 1 to 5 times. But the betrayals that we place on ourselves could be like 10 to 20. And it took me years to learn that the only way that someone can get to betraying me and harming me in that way is if I've already released or forgotten something within myself. Look at you, so ready to betray yourself. You don't even know who you are, and look at all you are willing to give up. You don't even know what you want. You so damn focused on what you lost. What you lost wanted to be left. What you lost ain't want you back. What you lost ain't coming back for you, and don't you know that everything lost ain't missing? Wow. So what are you begging for? For someone to unmake their mind about you? Bear me a favor, that you don't ever beg nobody to stay. That you don't ever beg nobody to love you. Love don't beg. Love ain't never have to beg for nothing. Don't walk through this world trying to keep everything, because everything ain't yours. Even the things that you want to be yours, even the things that were once yours. Do you know that something can once be yours and then not be yours? Don't get used to nothing. I don't give a damn about who don't want you. Do you want you? And if you are so worth keeping, why won't you keep you? How come you ain't kept you? When you finally trade yourself in, what do you want in return? The world? The woman who didn't even want herself got the nerve to go ahead and ask someone for the world? What fool is going to go and give you new shoes if you can't take care of the ones on your feet? You can't be trusted with the world. You'd waste the world. And what fool would go and give the world to a woman who didn't even want herself? There is no such thing as the world. Just your world. The one you make is the one you got. When you finally give that one up, you don't get another one. So what is the old world worth at its smallest? Ain't your world worth you? Ain't you worth you? I talk to my little cousin all the time about bad relationships, and she's always like, Jasmine, nobody wants to be alone. And I realized that I was raised to be a man's wife, but I wasn't raised to be alone and happy with myself. I was raised and brought up in a way that someone else would find me desirable and choose me, and then the rest of my life would be in servitude of that person in that world that we built together. But no one ever taught me how to be alone and in love with myself. And now, as a 34-year-old who is alone and in love with herself, it looks defiant for a Black girl to love herself and not be in search of anything. And it just happened to me. It literally just happened to me a few months ago, and it feels so good. And my best friend came to my house the other day, and it was the morning time, and I woke up, and I put on a vinyl, and she looked around my home, and she said, "This place is so romantic." And I was like, and this romance is all mine. My mother doesn't know me past her own shadow. She can still pronounce the name she has given me, but can't pronounce any of the names I've given myself. She doesn't know me past our resemblance, past the parts of herself that she hates the most, the extra weight, the brown that splashes under her eyelid. She doesn't know my hiding places or who I've hidden from. She doesn't understand why my tongue turns to sword, calls me cursed, says no man will ever love a girl like me with a witch's tongue and a pharaoh mouth. Girls like me need to be scraped out. She says she didn't raise me to have claws, didn't teach me to sharpen my fangs on frozen meat, says no man will ever love a girl like me, but what does she know about a man's love? She didn't raise me to scream or to bleed in the open. She doesn't understand my urge to fight, to have fangs, to use words like fuck. Doesn't understand why I don't cook or serve plates to men who cheat on their wives. Doesn't understand why I won't have babies that suck my blood. Mama don't think I'm gentle enough to be loved, but my mama ain't never been loved. Ain't never been adored. No man ever danced around my mama, never called her queen, never took off her shoes, never brought her a dishwasher or a washing machine or a house or those expensive flowers that have to be delivered by a truck. Mama don't know why I hate men, or why I threaten them on the street, or why I hiss at them on the bus, or why I call their bluff, or why I can't mind my business or lower my voice or change my tone. She says my tongue is to learn how to bow, says a man's temper can control the house. But I scream louder than my father. And I'll spit and I'll show my teeth, because ain't no man ever gonna tell me when or how much of myself I am allowed to be. Mama said the bomb wasn't meant for me. I think it was meant for Pastor Martin, because he'd be having them dreams. Maybe those white men didn't know that little girls, we be going to church too. And we be folding our hands and taking communion just like their daughters do. Maybe if I wore my church shoes, those bad men would have never came for me. I knew they matched my dress, but they always just be hurt in my feet. Did God christen the bombs that exploded my flesh into sacrifice? And do anybody be hearing them sacrificial scriptures spoken in tongues claiming Christ before everything went boom? Before the smoke and rubble baptized these collapsing bones? Maybe if they knew that we were like the most beautiful flowers right before the wind and the dirt began playing tug of war with the delicates of our petals. Mama said it only took one man to die for the sins of this entire world. So how did that man let this church tremble on my soul? And I don't remember there being enough holy water to stop the burning or to calm the smoke. Mama said some heartbreaks just be too hard to swallow at communion. That some serpents be finding salvation in baptismal pools, that some church mice be screaming America's dirty little secrets. Mama told me that some death just be too black and too white to be labeled holy, that some sacrifice comes without permission, that some sacrifice comes without fair warning, that God can't always protect you from the boogeyman. So some baby girls will reach the pearly gates and they won't be tall enough to turn the handle. Mama would always just be telling me that some men will be too guilty to ever claim their innocence with Christ. But what did I do? I never asked to play with the white girls. All I wanted was a piece of cake. All I wanted were a pair of roller skates, maybe an extra piece of cake after dinner time. You know, sometimes I'd be thinking like maybe God was too busy trying to protect Martin to think about us. I never asked for that man's dream. But mama, my mama just been saying that his dream, just been asking for me. Wow. But what about the bombs? How do you talk justice over the sound of bombs? Edit, how dare you talk justice over the sound of bombs? Edit, or what is justice if there are bombs? Edit, or do we believe in justice if we send bombs? Edit, who is we? Edit, and what happens when these bombs hit our children? Edit, but what children are our children? Edit, how do you explain the bombs to the children? Edit, do we believe they are children? What is a child? Is there a way to destroy your enemy without destroying his children? What happens if you kill your enemy but then leave his children in the sky? And the sky, is the sky still the sky when it is flooded, smoked, and mildew, when it has lost all its blue, when what is above looks like what is beneath? Is the air still the air when it is not air at all, when the air is breathtaking? And God, is God still God when he has forsaken you? In the poem, is the poem still a poem? Does the poem become a poem if it dies with the poet? I sit in my freedom and watch the bombs from my Instagram, thinking I've never seen a people die so big and vain and so in public, so much like animals, so much torn open, more cattle and carcass than mother and son. I feel like I don't deserve the luxury of my safety. Edit, do I deserve the luxury of my safety if it costs an occupation, if it costs in mass graves, if it costs in children? I know that humanity means something different in different skin. I know that I am not as human as them. But today is not my turn to die. Death man ain't looking for me today. Today I get to watch death, but I am not deaf, and that is the luxury to know that it is not my turn. It's the children's turn to die. Tomorrow, they may come for me and my God, like they did theirs. And then what? Why do our people speak justice before humanity? Why do we politic in the wake of death? My Nana taught me to never count pennies over dead bodies. And that may be my luxury, that today there is no allowance on my humanity. Today no one has taken my bones to drum a war call. I can play pretend in this safety of mine. Only until tomorrow. I know that Gloria Brown, my grandmother, she lived on South 14th Street in Southport. And she served as a lunch lady at George Washington Carver Elementary School before she retired. At 12 p.m. every day, she gave Calvin Chambers an extra milk with his lunch because that was my little brother's best friend and our next door neighbor. She fed Calvin until he was old enough to go to high school. His older brother, Al Tariq, died somewhere on a high-speed police chase. His funeral was held at Cotton. Bergen Street stands like an old man who was an artist back in the day, but has since painted his kidneys a whiskey color. Around here, you don't need to be Muslim to say Assalamu alaikum, because when you walk into King's restaurant, there'll be a 4'11" black woman who will ask you for your God and your order. She don't care if you've made up your mind. You have 10 seconds to respond. Assalamu alaikum, my sister. I'll go with catfish, cheese, eggs, cheese grits, wheat toast with butter and jelly, and an uptown, please. I come from a city. I always had enough home to come home to. A city that sometimes only responds to its Muslim name. A city that rolls its eyes and holds its babies tight on the 27 bus because it's going to be 4 more months before mama gets a new car. So back door bus driver, back door, we got places to go. The Source of Knowledge bookstore be the only black bookstore downtown, and they'll tell you about Broad Street before all of these white folks got here. It is summer 2025, and all of Benet and Tyrone's 3 black kids graduated from college. They keep their degrees in the china cabinet, and when they cook, they wear those "my baby went to a good school" t-shirts. There is a mother in the West Ward praying her child through college, and sometimes she'll sing it, and other times she'll scream it, but that prayer is going to last her all of the days of her life. And the water ain't clean here, but my Auntie Joyce is, and she been clean for a minute now. She got an apartment, and she sees her grandbabies every weekend. And the Leslie Street Block Association still has block parties. They be a group of old black folks who never got too scared of their grandbabies to celebrate them. Yes. Or to pray for them. So Miss Shorter gonna have a cookout. Keisha gonna have a cookout. Uncle Charlie gonna have a cookout, and you ain't gonna worry about the roaches because mama said everybody gonna stay in that room and ain't nobody gonna move a muscle until she says so. And the street gonna be blocked off. And the people gonna dance. And your daddy gonna show up and bring you your new bike and promise to never leave. And Nana made potato salad. She made potato salad and she mixed it with her whole all. And it's going to be 8 p.m. until the sun comes up. So you better stop by here now. Stop by and come get you a plate.